Every racer has a starting point. And everyone has their own path. This is where my path begins. But let's start from the very beginning. I started playing video games a long time ago, like a really long ago. And everyone had their own first step. For some, it was the first PlayStation. For others, Sega Genesis. For me, it was the ZX Spectrum. This little thing. And games looks like this. Pure joy. Absolute magic. Then, of course, came the NES. Then Sega. And later PC. And man, it was incredible. Whole new worlds to explore. Pure escapism. But time passed. The number of finished games kept growing, and somehow games started to feel less exciting. New mechanics stopped surprising me, and on top of that, work, family, responsibilities. You know how it goes. And at some point, I realized I lost something very important. Love and passion. Video games just stopped making me happy. And that doesn't feel sad, it feels painful. Because for me, games were always a form of art, and I really want that feeling back. About a year ago, I stumbled upon a video by Nastoru. I had tried some casual racing games before, so yeah, I got inspired. I had some experience with Need for Speed, sure, but I knew that's a completely different thing. And then this year, I got into Formula 1, like really into it. I became a fan, so I decided to try. Guys, this is Hardway Control, and today I'm going to tell you about my suffering in sim racing. Obviously, it started with buying a wheel and pedals, but which ones? Honestly, I had no idea. Belt driving, direct drive, all that stuff, and everything cost like a car apart from real plane, and I really wanted to keep the budget low. At first, I looked at the Logitech G27, then I even thought about the old Momo racing wheel. Super cheap, barely any force feedback, but still something. But then a good deal appeared. My wife's uncle offered me his old Trustmaster T300 for about $300. And I thought, why not? I mean, a grown man probably didn't destroy it, right? Probably. Anyway, it looked great, solid, the pedals were light, very light. Quick edit from the future me. Yeah, at that moment I really thought soft pedals were a good thing. By the way, I had issues setting it up. As usual, I didn't read the manual, I just plugged it into my PC. Big mistake. Windows installed its own drivers, and force feedback just didn't work. So I had to delete everything, install the official software, and only then connect the wheel. So yeah, guys, reading instructions actually helps. Now the simulator, the most interesting part. Since I'm a Formula 1 fan, I picked exactly that. After listening to some store recommendations, I bought the game with a very big discount, if you know what I mean. The game has both Formula 1 and Formula 2 cars. I knew my skills were terrible, so I decided to start with the junior series. At that point, I only knew how to press the gas. The brake? No problem. It's right in front of the monitor, reading this script. I didn't touch the settings, didn't learn the game. I just wanted to get behind the wheel as fast as possible. So let's go. Lights out. And I immediately realized I didn't know how to shift into first gear. Total failure. But okay, no problem. I'll catch up. And then boom, the wall. I didn't even understand what happened. I thought I saved it. And then crash. Turn 1 in Formula racing is always chaos. But when one of the drivers is a monkey who mixes up the pedals, it turns into hell. Of course it was my fault. I had zero understanding of how to control this monster. The AI drivers just disappeared into the distance. No chance. But I need to talk about the feelings. They were incredible. The graphics are beautiful. And the wheels react to everything. Every bump, every curb, you feel it with your hands. It's hard to explain with words, so you will have to trust me. In the end, I drove the best way I could, which means, like an NPC, I missed corners again and again. That's when I understood I'm very far from real racing. I quit that race, but stopping wasn't an option. I needed another attempt, without other drivers, so I chose time trial. Just me, empty track, no distractions. Now I will definitely show some pace, but I forgot one thing. The biggest problem here was still me. Turns out, you can't just smash the throttle. You actually need throttle control. 1000 horsepower behind your back is not a joke. That's why, on my first lap, I went straight into the barrier. After spinning like a donut machine. I finally accepted the truth. I'm not ready for Formula cars yet. Next, I went to humiliate myself in Assetto Corsa. The game menu, my respect. Seriously, it feels like it was designed by people with a 104 Fahrenheit fever. But that didn't stop me, and as I recently discovered, what usually stops me is a wall. After finally figuring out where everything is, I found a huge car list, and honestly, it was scary to even choose something. The memories of Formula cars was still too fresh, so I started looking for the weakest, slowest car possible, and I found one, some kind of Abarth. Never heard of it before. There are 3 versions in the game: the stock one, a sport version, which is DLC of course. You need to buy it, because of course you do, and the tiny one from 1952, with a top speed of about 80 miles per hour. Yeah, the old snail was just too embarrassing, so I picked the stock version. Now I set up opponents, choose an easy track, and let's go. Everything here is like real life. First, practice, to learn the track and set up the car, then qualifying, and finally the race. But why the race UI looks so terrible? I still don't understand. Menus on top of menus, overlapping everywhere. No idea what half of it shows. But Assetto is famous for mods, so I guess all of this can be fixed. So practice started. Honestly, I expected it to be easier. I played racing games before, I have a real driver's license, and I choose a weak car. Didn't help at all. That's when I started to understand how huge the gap is between a normal road driver and a real racing driver. When you can't even make a basic corner, yeah, that says a lot. I barely finished practice, constantly letting faster cars pass me. Since I skipped qualifying, I start last. Lights out. Everyone slowly pulls away from me. The first corner is coming, and honestly, I'm already scared. But somehow, the star aligned me. I take the corner perfectly and gain 3 positions at once. My emotions at that moment are impossible to describe, especially because I have no idea how I did it. Second corner, and here I messed up. The poor guy in front of me spins after my hit. Yes, I lose 1 position. Next corner complex. Speed is too high, I don't know where to go, so I absolutely destroy another unlucky driver. Yeah, he's out of race. I start chasing, hoping to recover. I mean, I already passed 3 cars, right? But reality is brutal. Mistakes in every corner. I even started cutting corners. Didn't help. Only damaged the car even more. At some point, I shifted wrong, and the engine wasn't very happy. And on the last lap, I got lapped. I understood the main thing. I lack fundamental knowledge. No real car control, no racing theory, nothing. After suffering a bit more, I turned off Assetto Corsa. I was at a crossroad. F1 threw me out. Assetto finished me, but giving up was not an option. Somewhere one must teach the basics. And then I remembered Gran Turismo 4. Why the 4th one? Simple. I never had a PlayStation. Still don't. So Gran Turismo 7 is not an option. GT5 emulation is problematic, but GT4 on PC SX2 works almost perfectly. So I set up the emulator and let's go. I have a habit in new games. First thing, settings. I don't know where it came from, but it's part of who I am now. First, manual transmission. All assist off. Units, kilometers, and of course the track map. Honestly, when the game launched, I felt really envy for people who had a PlayStation 2 back in the day. Lucky you guys. First up, licenses. As I understand it, this is training, which is exactly what I need. For now, I only have access to B license tests. Let's begin. Acceleration and braking. Mazda Demio. Good enough to start. I have no idea who drives with bumper cam. I choose the most comfortable view. And the test. Yeah, I failed it. It's not just about a good launch. You need to shift at the right time and remember about inertia and braking distance. But once I did everything right, I got gold immediately. Second test, same idea, but with a more powerful car. Gold at second attempt. Things are going well. I even started to believe in myself. I immediately decided to check the race analyzer, but I had no idea how it works, so I gave up for now. Third test, cornering basics. Another new car with its own quirks. But that's not the main point. The real challenge is much more interesting, because cornering is the foundation of motorsport. First try, bronze. The time was probably awful. Looks like the test made easy, so players don't get stuck here for too long. On the second run, I wanted gold, and then I noticed something strange. The ghost car barely moved. I was confused and went to Google. On some forum I found a hint. A guy wrote that the problem was clamping, and that if you fixed it, licenses might start bugging out. I had no idea what that even means, so I asked ChatGPT. Turns out, it's an emulator settings. Luckily, I found it, and oh my god, the ghost came alive. Now I could finally compare myself in real time, my launch, my corner entry, everything. But remember that warning about bugs? Yeah, here it comes. When switching to some events, the emulator just crashed. The solution? Okay, listen carefully. Set clamping to the correct value. Launch the game. Enter the event. Save state. Close the game. Then set clamping to maximum. Launch the game again. Load the save. Yes, this is pure emulator witchcraft. Somehow it's worked. With pain and suffering, I got gold in the third test. Still no idea how exactly. Fourth test. Same thing, but with more powerful car. And here I got stuck. I kind of found the right racing line, but braking, no idea. Sometimes I brake too early, sometimes too hard. So the entry looks fine, but the exit, total lottery. Sometimes I just fly off the track. I had to learn how to start properly. Best way, high revs, around 5-6,000, and then full throttle on launch, because losing half a second is incredibly easy. And steering. Turns out, also not simple. On a straight line, the car starts to wobble, and since my hands are more used to holding other things than a steering wheel, yeah, that's a problem. So, problems everywhere, and they need solutions. The solution? Experience and pain. Let's begin. And finally, gold. Fifth test, time attack. The lead car ahead is supposed to show the racing line. This test is basically a summary of everything before, just harder. Choose a line, enter the corner, brake properly, exit, then repeat again and again. And don't forget about gears. The mental load is insane. I know it sounds funny for some people, but I was sweating. At some point I felt like I lacked information on screen, so I turned on the steering wheel display, and then I realized something is wrong. I turn my wheel 90 degrees, but in game the wheels turns much more. I start digging and realize my wheel rotation is set to 360 degrees. That's way too low. No idea how bad it was, but it had to be fixed. I set it to 900 degrees. Now it feels right. And then I noticed one more issue. Look at how my wheel is mounted. It's slightly angled, but software says it's perfectly centered. I googled it. Looks like a bearing issue. I already ordered new ones. Here they are. We'll fix it in future episodes. For now, manual centering. Press these 3 buttons. Boom, perfect. I really want to get every gold in licenses. But for now, I only managed silver here. To avoid burnout, I decided to pause licenses. I want to race real opponents. To enter beginner tournaments, you need to buy a car. I have a real life dream. A second generation Volkswagen Golf. Why? No idea. Maybe I just want a grown-up Lego set. Smell of gasoline, garage life, active or passive. But I couldn't find it in the used car dealer. So I picked the strongest thing I saw, a Toyota Celica. By the way, why is the used market only Japanese cars? Anyone knows? Do European cars unlock later? Tell me in the comments. Anyway, wash the car, change the oil, you have to take care of your first love. Sunday Cup. No license required, any drivetrain allowed, and they pay prize money. Perfect. First race. I don't know much about cars, so I checked the years. All opponents year 2000. My car 1986. Yeah, I'm about to get destroyed. Rolling start, last place. And then, surprise, my almost 40-year-old car is actually faster. I eat a few opponents on the first lap and chase the leaders. As an F1 fan, it hurts to see everyone bumping into each other. But maybe that's because we all unlicensed noobs. Second lap. A battle with Peugeot for second place. Watching this now, I'm ashamed of how dirty I drove. Need to work on that. Last corner, I pass him. Second place, I was satisfied. No restart, honest racing. Second race, now it's obvious. My car is just stronger. I pass everyone on engine power alone. Win. Third race, same story. Then comes a track, straight out of Need for Speed Underground. Tight corners, engine alone won't save you. Third place. Final race, Engine power matters again. Cup finished, but no reward. Turns out you need gold everywhere. So I replay. First race, last corner battle for the win, victory. Second race, same thing. And my reward? Oh, abort. Long time no see. Looks like something between the two previous cars. Despite the reward, I felt disappointed. It felt like I was playing Need for Speed. The game forgives too many mistakes. Skill doesn't matter, power does. I hoped equal cars would create real tension. So I joined another cup. Front wheel drive only. First race, total failure. Opponents destroy me on straights. And in corners, I still suck. After several attempts, only third place. I watched the replay carefully and noticed something. Bots drive differently. Before corners on the straight, they slow down early, then drive into the turn. I don't drive like that. And honestly, I'm not sure that's even correct. They lose a lot of time. At least it looks that way to me. After 2 more races, I realized something important. This cup is harder. Best I could do, bronze or silver. So, back to licenses. Oh shit. Here we go again. I felt my skills growing with every lap. Lap times proved it. Sometimes I quit a lap halfway. Here's why. The track is split into 3 sectors. Twice per lap you see your delta to the best time. If I am already 0.4 seconds behind, I quit, no point. And then 1 lap felt perfect. That was the moment. My obsession with gold actually helped. I forced myself to analyze, brake smoothly, find reference points. Reference points help you know when to brake. Examples. First corner, brake and turn well before the 55 marker. Second corner, start braking at the beginning of the red and white curb. Last corner, where sand ends and grass begins. Honestly, I'm scared to imagine the speed needed to brake at 100 or 50 meters. Extremely useful technique. Remember how I said soft pedals were great? Yeah, that was a lie. Soft pedals are evil. You can't modulate braking. It either full brake or full wall. I found a stiffer spring. Time to upgrade. Unscrew the pedals. A lot of bolts. A lot. Inside, dirt and weak springs. Install the new one. Screw everything back. Is it perfect upgrade? No. Is it better? Yes. Braking is more controlled. The car is more precisable. And I feel more confident. I keep sweating. My time improves a lot. I'm in the 127 range. Before that, it was just a dream. 3 hours into the nightmare. Best lap 127.304. Gold requires 127.200. 1 more lap. First corner, average, but I know I can gain 2/10 there. Second sector, delta shows -0.042, that's bad. I usually gain time in the first corner, not later ones. But I continue. Second corner, still holding, my hands are shaking. I want to rip the wheel off. Third corner, and suddenly I'm 0.294 ahead. This is it, I'm almost there. I enter the corner and almost hit another car. I had to brake longer. I lose pace. That idiot does this sometimes. I keep driving on autopilot. Cross the finish line, 126.996. I got gold. I did it. Not only did my effort pay off, it paid off completely. I'm in the 126. Pure euphoria. I just melted into my chair, watching the gold spin on the screen, while the car kept driving. This is why I started all of this. And now I know I want more.